All-day menu. Available 24/7.
We gotta go to another break. Rusty's microphone's broken.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
You're fine.
It's fine.
It's stuck.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
So far back.
what were you gonna contribute?
Like
really?
it's look at where it is.
I believe it's supposed to be basically in line with your mouth, and that's nearly there.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah,
Twitch chat,
close
let
it
us know
up.
if you can hear Rusty and what he's saying.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
It'll be okay. And if it isn't, just tell us and we'll relay it as best as we can. All right, welcome to the couch. It's been big 4 games for you.
Yeah, it was.
But I didn't realise this, that everyone's biased now. They've all got their own team.
Yeah.
You're with AV. They're about to play.
Oh, I got it. Hang on. Make for progress.
Are we okay? Are we
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. No, we are. It's
Yeah.
very weird. I wouldn't say biased, right? We are
very
all-
biased.
We're all very.
Everyone in Twitch chat, call them biased.
Good, this is off to a great start.
We very much have a favourite team, of course, now because we all work with them. But when we're on broadcast, we're
Get on
different
Reddit,
people.
flame them all, call them biased, dox them. No,
You
don't,
will
don't,
not
don't,
get a snippet from me saying it.
But now you get to kick back a bit. You get to relax a little bit, but probably not too much because we are going to see an AV game. Welcome.
But
How's
we're
the-
locked third.
You are locked up. Well, I
Yeah.
just mean like, you know, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
like you could just tune out
No.
like I do.
Yeah, well, locked third, does that mean this is your opportunity to try something new? Or is it an opportunity to not reveal anything?
One thing about my team, Hingers, is you'll find that we try something new a lot.
Sure.
So this is probably not one of the times that we will try something new.
Oh,
This'll
it's the
probably-
flip
yeah.
reverse. I see. Yeah.
We don't want to show you anything, but we are confirmed in third place since Order beat Gravitas at that point. And of
Correct.
course, you saw with the last result, Order now locked in. So this game doesn't mean anything on the standings at all,
Aside from pride.
aside from Pride.
Yeah.
But he's been wearing a heaty weedy for most of the day, so
have,
pride
I
doesn't
have.
mean
My
anything.
pride-
Yeah,
Get
what's going
on.
on? Have you busted your neck somehow?
Yeah, so I found out because I'm a gamer that I'm sure we can all relate to this feeling. As we use a keyboard and a mouse a lot.
Yep, you're
my
reaching forward.
scapula has moved. It's
Oh.
slightly out of place because I use the mouse with my right hand.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I was doing a shoulders at the gym and
you've-
just tweaked it.
Do you? This is an ergonomics thing.
Please.
As a gamer, you're meant to sort of sit as like your hands quite far forward, aren't you?
I believe it.
Like,
Yeah.
like that forward?
Well, just not like this. Because
Yeah,
I
okay.
used to play with my
Surely there's a
keyboard-
middle ground between
No,
Tyrannosaurus Rex
this or this, that's
and
it.
diving board.
Because I used to play a lot with my wrist up against the side of the table. That was
Yeah,
how I
yeah.
controlled my mouse. And then that wrecked my entire body somehow, and I had to sort of move forward. And it's better now. But yeah,
Yeah, you
injuries. Gaming is dangerous.
I think it's like
Everyone.
up to the elbow on the
Yeah,
table.
right.
Or
Right.
thereabouts.
What's
Okay.
your ergonomic position when you're gaming? Sort of hunched over like a goblin.
Sort of squatting upside down crying. No, like I feel like I'm relatively good. I think the desk's probably up to about there. I try to float as much as possible and not rest.
You're kind of a gangly.
There's a lot of me.
You've got a lot of limbs going on.
Yeah, I sort of wrap around the keyboard and then come back around. But please let us know on Twitter using the hashtag IamOPL or send them in to us, nickboy@gmail.com, your worst gaming injuries. And how do you deal with them? What sort of wheat or oat product do you put on your shoulders? All right, speaking of
Not an
us,
official
Nick Boy-
endorsement.
no, it's not. Speaking of asknickboy@gmail.com, speaking of the Nick box and the Hing box,
Oh.
if I may,
Sure.
we got some questions. Fish.
The fish?
The fish.
The Singaporean celebrity fish?
As a fish.
The Singaporean fish.
Hey, Nick boy, I have a question. Why does Hingers hate bees so much? He's meant to be vegan. Okay, this is the issue here is that I'm one of these fake vegans who still eats honey, and a lot of people find that offensive. And look, let me tell you, I'm sorry I'm not perfect. I love honey. That's yes. Nick,
I have a
question.
I don't want to appear ignorant. I don't understand. Is the honey? Is it cruel to be for eating honey?
Look, my personal opinion is no, but there are some very angry people on the internet
Yeah.
who disagree with me very vociferously. And so look, I don't want to go too deep into it necessarily. Yeah, second question, Nick. Yes.
What else do bees have in their life if not to produce honey?
Wax, I imagine, sort of a lot of wax-based fun. Yes, Nick.
Who gives a shit about wax?
I don't know, bees. What do you got? You got wax.
Yep.
You got they also bees.
You got
also,
that movie?
yeah, you got that movie with Jerry Seinfeld. Yes, Spawn?
Aren't they one of the most important creatures on the planet? As
They
far
are.
as
Yeah.
spreading
In terms,
pollen?
They are.
yeah, in terms of
Pollination,
pollination, but that's a byproduct.
Yeah.
Like that, as is my understanding, my very limited understanding of bees, they stand on the flower to get the nectar.
Do a bit of dancing on the flower.
They do some dancing. Their hairy little feet, some would say
Furry.
feet, pick up stray pollen. They land somewhere else. So it's incidental. Like that to me is like if I'm on my way to work and I'm riding a bicycle to get fit, but the byproduct is that it's good for the environment. Like it's for them,
Well-
their primary resource is like we just got to make dat honey.
Or alternatively, if you're riding a bike to work and the byproduct is just sort of like honey sort of streaming off the back of your bike.
That could be good too.
Sort of a yellow brick road
It's
sort of
honey
situation.
bugs. You
Yes.
should get that and save the bees.
Yes. Well, I will say I don't just eat the honey from the bees. I have my own stock of bees
So
that I
you
love.
own bees.
Well, I don't know. Can one really own a bee? I have a hive. Of
I can own a
sorts.
dog, apparently.
Yeah.
Based on yesterday's conversation.
I think I would say if you've got them trapped on your roof and you gas them to take the honey,
I
then
don't
yes,
have to.
that is ownership.
No,
of something.
these are real. They're real placid. My bees.
Oh, right, okay.
So I don't have to gas them at all. I don't smoke them out. I also feel like because I have bad asthma, the smoke wouldn't work well for me.
Probably not a good idea.
Anyway, yes.
How do you get placid bees?
The European honeybee is a lot less angry than others. It's the most chill of all the bees.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So do you get stung? I know
very
most
rarely.
people probably don't care about that.
I don't
That's
think
bad.
I've ever. I can't think of a time I've been stung.
Hold up. So you went and purchased bees?
No, I purchased a hive, and then the bees
Come
came
to
to the
you.
hive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, a couple
See,
$100
I
bucks.
thought that like this was just one of those weird TV shows where you like knock on your roof and like 6,000 bees come out. And you're like, well, I'm a vegan, so I guess I now have a beehive in my house. I don't know what to do with it. But you did it on purpose.
Well, what happened was a friend of mine.
You lured the bees.
Well, a friend of mine wanted to start a honey business. He's an idiot, and he purchased too many hives. And I said to him, "Look, why don't I take off one of these hives off your hands, and then you just leave it there. 6 months later, little queen went in there, started a little hive of her own, and then
It sounds like an amazing life. Queens just wander the world looking for hives.
yeah,
That's great.
And then you harvest a bit of honey every couple of months.
So there's native bees as well, as Betados is pointing out in the chat. Native
Yes.
bees in the backyard, they don't sting and they make our flowers nice. Protect our native bees.
Mm-hmm.
Could I put a beehive on? So I don't have a. I mean, I have a roof. I have a roof that I can put bees on.
Yeah.
But I've got like
it-
very,
you
I've
put
got
it
a very
down.
big deck.
You don't have to put it in your roof. I just do it because that's where it's the best place for us. You put it in your garden.
But do I need to be like have some distance from it? Like I've got a baby. Is it okay for that baby to be wandering over and just like slapping that hive around?
Would I throw a baby
looking
into a
for honey?
beehive? That's an interesting question. Probably not. I probably wouldn't throw a baby into a beehive. But I don't know that I'd throw a baby anywhere.
But you are saying probably.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
you're saying there's a chance.
look. Can I think of a scenario in which I would throw a baby into a beehive? Okay. What if Yes, I can. Okay. So there's a hive. It's overrun by the bees are fighting the wasps. Oh no, you don't want to throw babies into wasps. No, I take that back.
Oh, no,
That's a
it's
worse
okay though if
situation.
they're surrounded by bees.
Yes.
Like a protective bee layer. Someone in the chat, Mr. Blue says, Nick Boy, most of the honey mass production destroys the hive when collecting the honey, which kills the bees. That's why vegans don't eat honey. But you
Making my own.
making your own and you don't destroy that hive.
Well, you got to destroy a little bit of it, the bottom bit that you're scraping the honey out of.
Right, but
it's not.
But you're not killing those bees.
No.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Ideally, I'm not. I don't know that I've killed a bee. I'm sure if you ask the bees, they might have a different. Look, as far as I know, I'm fine. Stop tweeting at me. I'm sorry. I love honey.
Rusty, do you get the feeling that I keep trying to offer him an out?
Yeah.
And he keeps going, yeah, but I do
Yeah.
kill like most of the bees.
No, I
circles
don't
going on
think
here?
I've killed many bees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm wondering whether or not. Yeah, we'll move on to the next question. That's fine. Brent Jones, how do you prepare the perfect scrambled eggs? I only bring this one up because we've all answered this question. We want to hear from you.
I don't eat eggs, so I don't know.
Do you do scrambled tofu?
I have had scrambled tofu. That's a nice one. Yeah, I don't mind a scrambled tofu.
What do you do with that?
Well, I don't know how to make it, so what I will do to do it is order it from a cafe, mostly.
It's a surefire way to make it.
And usually, it's pretty good.
I can't argue with that logic. Fizz to win writes in next. This is the long one. Strap in.
dear.
Greetings, Nick. I
Hello.
got married a year back, and since the very first day, I've not been able to strike a rapport with my mother-in-law. She's a good-hearted person, but somehow we don't get along. She's religious, and I'm a chazziest. She expects me to wear Chiefs jerseys, and I'm more comfortable in legacy wear.
What's a chazziest?
I believe just a fan
Chaz
of
is the
Chaz.
mid laner of.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We have
okay.
different ways of
Worshipping the
managing
lips.
households as well. Now I am constantly wondering how would I adjust with her in my life. It's become difficult to sit in the same room. Also, my husband has made it very clear that he won't take sides to try and resolve the situation. Regards, fist win,
Right.
Chaz it up.
I feel like the mother-in-law situation in any marriage is often well, I guess relations to your in-laws is always quite difficult because you are not you specifically,
No.
but one is a disappointment regardless of who you are, undoubtedly.
Yeah.
You know,
The starters one until you're proven otherwise.
yeah,
right?
my girlfriend's parents are the loveliest people in the world. Do they like me? I can't imagine they would. Why would they? I'm a disaster. You have in-laws, Nick.
I'm a delight. They love me.
From the did you start as a delight? Did you start with them loving you, or did you have to prove yourself?
Top tier delight, got more delightful as every day goes by. No, I mean, look, here's the thing. I know Fizz to Wiz is totally screwing with us, and you're probably not married. You're probably 13 years old.
Very eloquent writing.
There's no
though.
way you have a mother-in-law. But I just like
Send
this.
us a photo. Prove it.
Yeah, prove it. I want the mother-in-law
Holding today's newspaper.
in a Chiefs jersey, and you standing next to a photo of Chaz's lips while wearing a legacy top. All right.
Bring back the
but
lips.
Bring back the lips. Hashtag bring back the lips. I really need to actually have a conversation with Chaz one of these days. Do we have time for one more? They're saying no, so we'll just squeeze in a quick one. Nonna says, what is your favorite pasta?
My favorite pasta. Oh, I love a linguine. No, I love a pappardelle. Sorry, I take that back. Love a pappardelle.
Love a pappardelle. Do you make it yourself or do you order it?
I have made it before myself. I've made it from scratch. Not since I've given up the eggs in the diet though.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But you can get wheat pastas that don't have eggs in it. Look, I don't need to tell you all about vegan cooking. No one cares. Absolutely no one cares. Nick, you have a question?
Before
Yes.
we throw to the desk, how many bees did you kill to make the pasta?
I mean, literally millions. It's
Okay.
unfortunate.
All right.
I don't use eggs in it. I just use beef carcasses.
Good to know. It is time for the McDonald's champion pick. Let's throw it to the desk.
Oh, I did not need to know about the amount of bee murder that Hinger's meal prep
Do you know
requires.
that I have actually, I don't know whether Hing is proud of this moment, but he actually went non-vegan for an SBS.
You mean like anti-vegan? Like he only ate things
No,
that
like
were
as in like he wanted to, SBS and Hing wanted to see the side effects of what happens when you reintroduce meat into a vegan's diet.
Right.
And I think I got him like 4 or 5 days into that process. And from my memory of the situation, it was not going well for Michael, that meat was not agreeing with his body at all.
Okay.
That it was becoming quite painful for Michael in particular. So I feel like everyone should give him a break. He's a good vegan. Like, he's proved it by going non-vegan. He is a good vegan.
Yeah. Okay. So we've cleared his good name, his good
Yeah.
vegan name now.
Because I feel like there's a lot of slander coming onto the couch. And I feel like there's a lot of slander directed towards me, and there's a lot of slander directed towards my duo queue partner and Hing. So I just got to make sure that our names are clear.
All right. Well, this has been your PSA, public spawn announcement. And Legacy start by locking in a Rise here
Makes
on the
sense.
upside of Avant Gaming. Still a lot to play for them. And it's Galio and J4 combo.
And this is a conflicting style that we've seen in the OPL so much lately, Pyra. This is going to be the 1-3-1 comp, kicked in with Rise. Rise is a very good 1-3-1 champion, because if you get in ahead, you can also team fight into what is the hard team fighting comp of the Avant Gaming lineup. Now, is that a top lane Jarvan? Is that a support Jarvan? Who knows with Avant Gaming? That could go absolutely anywhere, but I'm really excited for this game because Legacy and Avant would both be wanting to end this season on a big high.
They will, and Avant as well. You know, just kind of trying to flex some muscles after yesterday's disappointment. Still already locked into the gauntlet, however. I want to see how far they can go. Legacy will lock in for Praedit, the Vayne, along with the Braum.
Makes
More
a lot
crazy.
of sense to me. I mean, Galio, if it is a support, is countered a little bit by the Vayne. The mobility as well as the Condemn makes it work. Not only that, if Braum gets the shield up before the taunt goes off, can negate a lot of the damage. And they also have really good chase potential in 2v2 all in. So really excited to see how that one plays out. I would expect maybe something like the Tristana Jinx, I was going to say, to come out for Gunkrab, because he's not one to back away. This isn't going to be an Ezreal farm up lane. He's going to want to fight fire with fire.
Yeah, he will. We've seen the Tristana come out a number of times, but before that, the first champion you really saw that Gunkrab pop off was
Look at the
on the
flamingos.
Jinx. Yeah, Stillballen's definitely got a handful of pretty crazy outfits. He's
Yeah.
still rocking the money chain, though.
When you
I
say a
appreciate the
handful, by the way,
consistency.
I think it's in the hundreds, not the tens.
It's a big handful.
Yeah.
He's
it
got
is a
big hands.
Giant handful.
All right, Zach gets banned away
Still
for
hasn't
Avant
said
Gaming.
much in this pick ban so far.
No, he's wearing glasses inside, too.
Yeah, he is. That's a bit strange.
Well, you know, he's got his own brand for sure. Over to the Legacy side for their bans. Number 2, what's coming through here? I do like that they banned the Zach away from Guts because he has shown a lot of improvement on that champion.
Oh, that's his best champion by an absolute mile. I think I'm surprised he hasn't played Hecarim yet because that was the other one that he used to play a lot in solo queue. Aatrox makes a lot of sense. Once again, another flex pick gets the Galio into the back line as well. So I like what they're doing so far. Maybe setting up for Paparazzi to be on a top lane rise if they throw another ban towards that. I want to see Chaz play an Assassin. He hovered the Echo. But if you can play something like a Zed and Echo game, maybe even a Fizz if it's the right matchup, I would be very happy.
That would be something. Now, it's continuing to be Legacy banning away a couple of these
Shock play
high
Syndra.
damage dealing carries. Camille as well. Let's see what Shock does lock in. Zillion, of course, a perma-ban against him. He's been great on it.
Yep.
He plays a lot of interesting champions, though, for sure.
Yeah, Urgot's still up and available, one of his big champions, although it hasn't been buffed just yet, so not expecting him to pick it up. I would expect Syndra lock in right here, and that means I expect Chaz to play Echo.
All right, well, let's see if your prediction comes true, Spawn. 23 seconds left to decide.
Come on, Chaz.
Oh, that's a different one. He goes to the Zed.
I mean, we've already seen him play it, though. So I feel like Echo was a better pick just for my variety in life. But he's a very good Zed player, and I think this is a good lane matchup. Also, I talk about it a lot, that gives you the flip AD AP on your 2 split pushes. So if they go a tank top laner and he picks up something like an adaptive helm first, you just throw the Zed into the lane and it's absolutely fine. So Chaz certainly throwing the gauntlet here towards Shock, but I like the confidence from the young man. Certainly deserved it over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, all right. Let's see what Avant round this composition out with. And Chippy's has been a player that
Aurelia, maybe?
sticks to a couple of his individual picks. It's possible. Ooh, they might switch it up, though.
It's going to take the job.
Tag the J4 top side. Let's see. It's going to be the Nocturne lock-in for Swathe, and that is hella on brand.
Yeah, it certainly is. Swathe, the big farming jungler, attacks the side lanes a lot. If he gets to level 6 in this comp, they can really shut down, I think, what Legacy want to be able to do. Also, the fact that they've got that semi-global in the Rise ultimate. Nocturne ultimate really does play tricks on you when that's in the game.
Yeah,
so
imagine. You've already got the J4 Galio combo, which is terrifying, but then you flick the lights off?
yeah, exactly right. And I think that this is a big team fight comp, and they do have ways to attack the 1-3-1 coming from Legacy as well. So like what Avant have done here, they've been the most impressive team to me versus expectations so far this split. People thought Avant were going to miss playoffs, and they've finished 3rd now. This one's for fun. And I want to see them go out with a bang because they certainly are a promising lineup.
Yeah, you can treat it as a warm-up going ahead into the McDonald's Gauntlet Series next week. For Legacy, it's all about that pride. The team has demonstrated a lot of growth. A lot of what they've been saying has been shining through, originally in the scrims only, but now on stage as well. And if they could knock Avant down a peg, that would certainly be a confidence booster.
Yeah, it certainly would be, and I'm sure that that's what their goal is. Going into split number 2 of the OPL, they want to take as many scalps as possible. They've taken Gravitas, they've taken Order, double Dire Wolf victories as well. Now it's time to move on to a bigger fish. You know, 3rd place finish. Avant Gaming would be a nice scalp to collect in the final game. Let's see if they can do it.
Well, Legacy certainly have shown potential to upset the apple cart on a number of occasions. Playing the 1-3-1, definitely not so easy, but they've got a lot of dangerous tools in their kit. Some decent disengage as well to try and move away from that Wombo combo the Legacy are bringing to the party. Oh, it's going to be an exciting one. Clash of styles between this clash of teams.
And I want to see how quickly Avant play, because they are such a good, quick team. And I think that they've got a comp that, you know, as soon as level 6 hit, they can just go. And Guncrab has played this Jinx before. He's done it very nicely. Only player willing to pick it up in the OPL. And I just look at this Avant lineup and think, you know, if they get ahead, if they start rolling, there is no way for a Rise and a Zed to slow that down. So Legacy need to be able to fight fire with fire. They said they weren't happy with their early games. Let's see if they can put one together today.
Lethal tempo on the Jinx. Looking forward to seeing what Avant bring out of this one. Getting the game underway. Looks
That is
like
such a cool Zed skin. If we can go just check out Chaz's Zed skin. Ooh, it is very nice and shiny. It's a gold chroma.
It's not the stealthiest, not the ninjiest, but you know what? Chaz is swagging out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Zed isn't really a stealthy ninja. He's like a fly-at-your-face
He's
ninja.
more stealthy than some of the ninjas in League.
Like
Have you seen Shen?
Yeah, I mean, I would say they're on par.
Nah.
Zed runs at you, dude.
He also like steps around in the shadows.
Yeah, Shen
That's what-
shadow dashes.
He just dashes. He just runs at you. He's a tank.
I'm telling you. Zed's a crappy ninja as well.
Akali's a better ninja than
both
of them.
put
I will say
together.
that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Kennen, that's because he's small. You don't look down and you don't see him.
Yeah, no, so Kennen's also a run at you ninja. He's also a crap
Yeah, he's
ninja.
no, he's faster. He's smaller.
You have very strange, like, parameters for what ninjas need to be able to do.
I'm just very particular about my ninjas.
You are.
Yeah. They're usually teenage and mutant.
See, I was thinking more about, like, the 3 ninjas, is that what they're called? Like, the kickback series and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a throwback.
Tum Tum, and I can't remember the other one's name.
See, we come from different ninja influences.
do.
I think that's what really informs this
But
difference.
see, I thought if anyone in the caster team knew about the 3 ninjas, it would be you, because you're a little bit older.
I mean, I am, but like, I'm also like 5 years old mentally.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You said it, not me. I don't want to be dragged into that one.
You're not going to get dragged into it. I will freely admit to it. That's why I'm a yelly man. I just get excited and I say things. Speaking of getting excited, I love watching Gunkrab on these pop-off champions. It's always an X factor. And I think really it's one of those kind of things that you can't really necessarily plan for because there's always the potential. Yes, it can be shut down, but it's a huge strength that Avant have, and not everybody plays towards that style.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And I think the big thing that I want to point out about him is he's had success. Oh, maybe hold that thought. Shock rotating across right now to cut off guards.
Interesting. He's out of there, though.
But he's going to lose double Scuttle Crab right now. And that is a pretty big deal because he invaded against the priority. What I mean by that is Shock had to push in the mid lane, therefore had the first move. Swayth had already taken his camp, was able to cross freely, and Chaz can't push this wave out until, level 4. I think he has a legitimate kill threat with 2 points in Shuriken, but maybe not going to be able to do that right now because he's getting chunked out. What I was going to say is Gunkrab played for Tectonic in a couple of games when, let's hold that thought again.
You're going to have to come back to that a little bit. Paprise walking away. Although there's the ward, so Swayth is actually detected here, but Paprise still playing a little further forward on the level 3 to level 2 against Chip. He's forced to flash away.
Yeah, very interesting play there, Paprise. Just decided he didn't want to lane with Flash today, so he was going to step up and go for a trade while the jungler was on vision. What I was going to say is Gunkrab played for Tectonic when their import 80 carry was not yet available. That, of course, was it Trance? It was Value. Of course, was Value. And he was able to pick up wins versus both the Chiefs Esports Club and Order at that stage and really start making a name for himself. So I think this is a young player that, ever since he kind of burst onto the scene, has had, big games that he's been able to take. That's why it's no surprise that he's doing well. He kind of is that disrespect player. And I think that, this season alone, he's proved that he doesn't really care about who he plays against. He thinks he's as good as anyone in the league and pushing in and showing it right now.
Yeah, we actually have quite a crop of AD carry players that fit that mold as well. Another one, Pradith, having swapped from top lane. Just remember his interview from a couple of weeks ago. Hey, top tier ADC, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Top 5.
And I think that he is right now. I think that when you have a look at how he's playing these mechanically entrenched champions that you do need farm on to be successful and doing a very good job of it. So this lane's going to be tough for him. Both Galio and Jinx, I would say, got counters in both roles. So if he can get anywhere near 2 items and take over this game, will be a big testament to how good of an AD carry he has become.
We'll see if Guts can maybe bring a little bit extra pressure there, but it's still early. He's down to the bottom, which is why I was keeping an eye on him, but he's not got 6 yet. He's not going to be able to get those executions to chase down, so I think for Legacy's bot lane, it is going to be a bit of a waiting game. Meanwhile, mid, though, about to hit level 6. Chaz just dings up to 5, so still a little bit of time. See if he ends up trying to go in under Shock, who has the barrier. Try and block some of that damage.
Yeah, Barrier is the best one-on-one summoner spell.
Oh, here's
Guts
Guts
behind. Let's take a look at this game.
Creative gank path here. Now Gunkrab is in some trouble as he gets tagged by the Braum, but it's a 3-man taunt on, and it doesn't matter because Pradith still keeps his eyes on the prize and gets the first blood.
Yeah, that was a beautiful condemn coming out of Pradith right there. The setup was nice, but the fact that he was able to get the stun into the wall secured that kill. Very nicely played from Legacy's bottom lane. It's hard to gank when you push that far in because if you walk at them, you kind of give it away, but they're able to nail that one, Pyro.
Yeah, and Guts does a great job. Now he's going to be able to put some extra pressure onto Swayth as well. He opted into this with the fear even. And now Swayth tries to chase him out of his own jungle, but Guts is feeling himself in this game already.
Yeah, certainly is. And my criticism of Guts is he hasn't been aggressive enough. Well, he goes the double longsword as opposed to the jungle item this time around. Gets the first gank off a first blood on his AD carry, as well as the fact he goes for a little invade early and there. So I think that his mindset certainly has shifted in the latter stages of this game, and I think that only bodes well for Legacy as they go into the next season as well.
Oh, that's very true. For Legacy, it is all about building up. And with this lineup that they had, it was kind of a hodgepodge with a lot of players swapping around and some newer players coming in, as well as some experienced ones. They've definitely created themselves a foundation, and the back of it is definitely Pradith.
No, this has been a really successful season for Legacy. Whilst they have not made Gauntlet. I'm sure they would have loved to as a young team. There are some genuine superstars on this lineup. I'm very excited about Chaz. I've been kind of singing his praises for a while now, and I think that in the last couple of weeks,
Oh, as you talk about Chaz, he doesn't die, though, and that's critical.
yeah, it certainly is. He's going to be able to collect this big wave with Crazy as
How
well.
did Shock get 6 before him?
Well, there's about 15 creeps on the turret, so I reckon that might have something to do with it.
Yeah, it was a level advantage for Chaz, but now it's matched. Unfortunately, he can't really go all in on it because he's missing half of his health bar.
I actually think he nearly can.
You think?
I don't think that one combo right now kills Chaz, and I think that the flip is certainly true for Shock if everything lands. So as long as they get eyes on where this jungler is right now, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for one against the Tide.
All right. Biding his time, though, and now question marks about where the top laner is. Chippy's disappeared into the river to help Swaith take out the Scuttle Crab, and that means that instead Chaz will just back away to Fountain.
Zed does a ton of damage. What people don't realize is if triple Q hits, it's just very hard to negate any of that. Stun will land.
Yeah, and the ball. So Shock trying to play with an arm's length distance. He's running low on mana, though, and that is trouble.
He has gone Arm Guard first, so I missed that. So maybe he can't be all in from 100% health, but I think it would be relatively close. Barrier, of course, going to help out. The reason I think he's gone Barrier over heal in this matchup is Barrier is effective against heal at every stage. Ignite at every stage. Whereas if you don't heal early versus Zed, the Ignite really does do a lot of work in those trades.
It makes your life easier,
yeah.
particularly for that situation, because you're preempting the damage rather than just trying to predict when it's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly right. So I think that a little bit easier to play around the barrier than it is to heal against the Ignite opponent, especially with the massive execute that comes out of Zed.
Yeah. Another thing Legacy have done well, too, and we talked about that bottom play with Guts, but I think because of the timing of it, it forced Skunk Crab to go back and buy a pickaxe where he would have rather have gotten up to the farm for the BF sword. And, this gives a pretty significant window because Praedyth is already rocking a Bilgewater Cutlass.
Yeah, he's certainly in the position to be able to command this laning phase, and you can see that that early CS discrepancy that was building has now stopped and might even be clawed back as they do seem to have the push here. And just that this bottom lane pressure, it continues. 4 members down here. How do you farm this way?
That is the question. And a lot of vision being placed down. Legacy going to try and cut in here. But it's really just about stealing jungle camps and trying to deny as much from Swaith as possible. He's in this lane from behind, but he's been slowed down.
The lights. They've got level 6 on Aladoric.
They want to go in? Oh.
He hit the wall.
Yeah. That was a bit of a swing and a miss from Ali.
A bit?
A big. I don't know. What do you want me to say?
That was pretty big.
Yeah. What did Bryce call it a couple weeks ago? All swing, no ding?
Is that what he said?
Yeah, I asked around, and apparently that's not really a cricket term. It's just something he said.
No, big swing, no ding is certainly cricket.
Big swing, no ding. Okay.
Yeah.
Permutation.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I asked Benji. So maybe Benji doesn't
Sometimes people say he's swinging like a rusty gate.
Yeah.
A little bit like
Yeah, no,
stop-start.
I know exactly what you mean, actually. Ooh. Jazz going in this time. And tagged in, it's Guts, but Shock walks away, doesn't use a summoner, holds his nerve.
And the thing is that Shock's getting towards that stopwatch coming online, so they really did need to make the play then if they were going to make it at all. They had called down the Rise into the river, he has ultimate available, but they don't pull the trigger a little bit too close to the turret. And I think that arm guard really has done wonders for Shock's early laning. Did cost him a little bit of mana, but the biscuits are helping out there, and I think they've negated this really tough part of the laning phase for now.
Yeah. The big difference, really just 300, 400 gold, and that's in favor of Legacy off of the first blood. So it's been kept pretty close, but you can tell that Legacy are the ones trying to still make some plays now that they're in a position of strength, especially Chaz in this mid lane. But it has been Shock that has been playing it out pretty solidly.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think now the focus for Legacy needs to be how do we open up the map, who are we going to break turret through. Probably my preference right now would be top lane. You got mixed damage threat, and therefore Chibis can't itemize against a Rek'Sai as well as the Rai as well. There's also, that guaranteed 1.5 second knock up into the Umburrow and a ton of execute damage. And the reason I say it's so important is because they have to be able to get Rise and Zed into long lanes, because these short lanes, you're not going to be able to chase down one down and kill them with the current itemization that the Avant gaming lineup has. At the same time, Avant probably waiting on Swaith's first ultimate, try and get a neutral objective off that. Maybe the Rift Herald, because Air Drake not as high priority, and try and open that game. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, Avant always are going to have that threat of the big Wombo combo that Legacy are going to have to try and slip out of. So any advantage they can build before that mid-game where the fighting starts to happen is going to be beneficial. That's generally true, I think, but, in this particular case, doubly so.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, and I think that Legacy have done a good job so far of trying to go even in these laning phases. They've built themselves that 600 first blood gold lead, but apart from that, hasn't really done all that much. And first map move coming in from the Avant Gaming lineup right now. They know that Paprise is he has to go back, so there's no defense coming in. They're going to flip towards the top lane and start up that Rift Herald.
They will be able to do it. Aladoric looking to cut off anybody moving in, checking forward, so this will be done completely blind while the Avant full swap comes through. The Jinx up there, Aladoric already surrounding. And Legacy aren't going to know where anybody but Chippies is.
So they should know right now, because you can see that no one has shown on that bottom lane wave, and they had the first recall, so they'll know something fishy is going on. They won't know exactly what, but Rift Herald is kind of the only thing they can take right now, given the fact that they do have bottom lane river vision, and so they know it's not a dragon. So. Yeah. No response play coming out, but they certainly should have known that, you know, they were taking Rift Herald. They drop it straight away.
Avant are going to go for the top side, so it looks like we're going to be in for a trade of towers, and Avant should certainly be getting first brick here with minions already crashing forward. Legacy looking to try and make a play in the mid. Shaka, the last of his mana, actually scatters Chaz back, and that's a really good use of it, because now he can't go for the all-in.
And I kind of get confused when I see teams do this against Jinx. They haven't been matched, instead they're trying to trade across map. They go
Hold
for
on a second.
Kill? Steal?
It goes flying? Nope. Just sniffs it out. Man, sometimes, though, those rockets are real big value.
Papyrus, still no one's going back to stop this Rift Herald. Sure, you're going to get some plates bottom lane, but this is a Jinx that's whacking the turret with Shelly right now.
Yeah, this is a big swing, and they realize they've got to make the play. A second charge on the Rift. Gunkrab continues to push the wave in. There's still plenty of minions nice and healthy here. And he doesn't even have to fully commit to it. He can just keep farming as he goes, and now he gets free pot shots. They might even take this before.
Yeah, potentially they'll get some damage down. I don't think it's going to go all the way, but now that they show, you know, Rise in the bottom lane, they can potentially look for this play bot. Here we go.
It's going to be Chippies. He tags his way in, and there's the combo onto the Nocturne, looking for the damage on the Vayne, still getting out. Praedith, how the hell did he make his escape?
Oh!
And he sidesteps Aladoric. The teleport now. It's the counterplay for Legacy. Ali's going to go down. Swaith going golden. He's in Rune Prison, though. Not going to last much longer. The burst damage, the flag, the drag. It's Chippies out of there.
And that's a massive mistake coming in for Avant. Aladoric flashes forward, misses the Justice Punch, and that means there's just big egg on his face. They will be able to take the victory in the team fight, and they should be able to push into this turret now. Legacy with a huge lead.
The teams just completely flip strategies here. It's Avant that go for the side lane play because Gunkrab's unchallenged. Legacy go in for the team fight, and they win big.
Yeah, they certainly do, but that one was started by Chippies, started by Swaith. One of the good things about Nocturne is that the tether stays on the Vayne even when she's invisible, so you know exactly where she's going to be. Flash from Praedith, very well timed. Turns that play 1-0 and 2, having a terrific game. We see this one again. So ulti on, he has to flash out of it. Goes invisible here and able to break the tether, which means that he turns around, Frey hits. Aladoric, a little bit ugly there, unfortunately.
You hate to
will
see it.
fall down, and then this teleport from Paprise really answers the play nicely and secures them the second kill.
And Crazy's Ignite actually ends up securing that one on the Galio. That's got to be a bit of a tilter.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I mean, right now you're just trying to get any economy onto the Vayne because, you know, she shouldn't be getting any gold at this stage of the game. The swap, I said, was in large favor of Avant Gaming. Vayne shouldn't have been able to contest for that turret. Got 4 plates, got 2 assists, as well as a boatload of farm. That is certainly worthwhile.
They needed to find an answer, too, because they were in danger of losing not just 1, but 2 turrets up on the top because of that massive push in. Well, and they got that and more. You know, didn't get the turret top. They're still standing gold there, but they have a gold lead. And as you mentioned, economy onto the Vayne, 1 kill already. That's not too bad.
Yeah, it certainly is, especially given the fact that it was first blood. 4 turret plates as well. Certainly equal gold going across the Gunkrab. You can see no big discrepancy in the items right now, but you would say that in a pure 1v1, you would favor the Vayne at this stage of the game. Range not going to count all that much versus the movement speed.
Legacy hustling in. Blastcone actually taken by Aladoric, and he goes in. This time looking for it. Darkness turned on. Swaith getting the kill, and the rocket comes in, but it's not even needed. Just an insurance policy here as Shock is forced to pop his stopwatch, but the rest of Legacy on the run. The heal comes through, hunting for Chaz. And the party portal is going to get him out to safety. Nice tag team play by Paprise to limit the loss.
Yeah, it certainly is. So that's a 2 for nothing, and potentially Guts going down as well. No, he is not.
And he
gets
denied
a flash
the dunk.
out.
Dunk in the flash. So that could have been a heck of a lot worse for Legacy, but they still lose 2 for none.
Yeah, certainly do. Aladoric needs to be a little bit careful there. Chaz still has ultimate as well as Ignite. Can look for the play.
As it stands, they're just getting chip damage here. Paprise zoned away, and the smite comes down for Swaith. Gut's going to look to try and collapse on him. Gunkrab takes out Chaz off screen. And meanwhile, Swaith is answered for.
Certainly is. That's a really aggressive invade by Swaith, given the fact that he had no flash, no ultimate, and no stopwatch to get out. I feel like this is just going to be one of those games.
Yep. I entirely agree with you, Spawn. It is turned into a bit of a blitz, back and forth.
We're sitting at 7 kills, 16 minutes. It's not as bloody as maybe we're making it out to be, but I feel like the switch has well and truly been flicked and people are just roaming around in like kind of gang squads looking to take people out right now.
Yeah, opportunistic League of Legends for sure. Less than by the numbers, but this is a game that is a bit for fun right now. It's kind of about testing your limits, and sometimes throw in a little bit of chaos, a few curveballs left and right. Doesn't hurt because it gets you used to actually playing in some of those situations.
And I'd say both of these teams very suited to chaotic style League of Legends. I don't think either of these teams really shy away from mid-game team fighting. And, you know, when you have players playing Zed and Vayne, you certainly want to take those mid-game skirmishes. And I think that Avant as a organization and a lineup are very suited towards it as well.
Yeah, well, I think it's only fitting. If there's a team called Order, there's a team that represents Chaos. And both of them are going to be in the gauntlet. Looking forward to how that one all shakes out starting next week, of course. Good traps, stopping the engage from Legacy. That's another thing that people don't always think about, because we don't see Jinx a ton. She does have some escape tools, you just have to play them the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's one of the few champions that stops dashes in their path. Like, it's not grounded. However, if you try and dash over Flame Chompers, you do get ripped back towards them. I think it makes her pretty good into champions like Camille at times, although the ultimate really does ruin your day.
Yeah, that's true. You have to get the outplay. Oh, hello. Looking for the dunk onto the Zed, into the pit. Swaith taking tower shots. He's going to die. That's a 1-for-1 trade, and if you're Chaz, you'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely, and they nearly caught out Aladoric as well, nearly stunned into the wall. Now potentially corralled into the corner. No, not going to happen. Even game at 17 minutes. Legacy showing that against a third-place Avant gaming lineup, that they're no slouches right now. They're just time and time trading punches.
Yeah. If you're just tuning into the OPL at the very end of the hurdles here at Super Week, and you're wondering, Legacy, a team that has 5 wins, and they're performing this well, no, your eyes aren't deceiving you. This is just a team that have developed so well over the last several weeks, finally showcasing what teams have been saying about them in scrims. They're performing to a level where they are on par with some of these other OPL teams.
Yeah, and they're a team that has a really big belief factor as well, so you know, certainly respect the journey that they're on. They nearly got their Vayne towards 2 items. Zed at that stage as well. This is a team that will eventually get outscaled. I think that they need to come online right now, but certainly showing that, you know, mid-game team fighting is one of their fortes, and, you know, a fight into a Baron, into a quick victory is what we've seen a couple of times today, so certainly could still be on the table. Avant Gaming at the same time, I feel like they just need to slow the pace down. You know, get towards the 2-3 items. You know, you're running the crit AD carry. You don't need to go for these huge outplays right now.
Still might be sniffing for a couple of kills. It's just, yeah, you don't necessarily have to make the play just because you can, because sometimes you might pay for it. Chaz ends up picking a kill where he, you know, might not have had a chance to get it, and a little extra gold for him, even if he does get removed from the Rift in the process. A lot of wards placed around this river, and sometimes in the Legacy jungle, but those ones are being cleared out pretty rapidly.
Yeah, this is the best thing about Rek'Sai. She can kind of go around solo, shoot her Q into brushes, and really keep herself set on these scouting missions. Chaz
map control
caught out.
champion. Ooh, there's the stun. Chaz goes in onto Shock and trying to make his great escape. The teleport comes through here. For Legacy, it's Paprise looking to cut him off.
Doesn't have teleport. This is a 4v5.
Avant have been sandwiched right now, and the lights get flipped off here. Let's see what ends up happening. Swaith goes in, trying to flank the flanker. Going for the damage. They'll take him down. Swaith has got guts, and now the rockets are flying. Aladoric coming in to cut off the rest of the Legacy lineup as they just can't quite get an inside angle. Chippies is coming through, looking for the dunk on the opposite side. He flags, he drags, they take down Crazy, and the Jinx is getting excited. Paprise taken out. The rest of Legacy will fall to Avant. Chaz running away for his life.
Yeah, and that means that Avant Gaming are going to be able to go towards this Baron. Ooh!
Aladoric taken out of this one.
He got 2!
Chippies manages to actually get something out of nothing, or Chaz rather, before he's aced.
He's just saved the Baron. Guts will be up in time, I think. I don't know whether they can do this.
They don't have smite.
No, it dies very quickly. Take that all back. He's not going to be able to get there.
But for 1 second, it looked like it might have turned around. All the same, Chaz will be happy with those kills, but Legacy, ooh, they got themselves out of this. They actually have peeled away, so Avant can't do it after all.
Yeah, Chippies took too much damage. He doesn't have the armor. Said he couldn't take it up, and the damage debuff was coming across. That's a big deal for Chaz to be able to get those 2 exit kills, and now certainly has made his mark. Take another look at this. It looks so good for the Legacy lineup because they had them trapped and corralled. But I think a little bit of a premature engage coming in from Guts. You see a lot of damage goes across onto him here, gets stunned up, can't use the ultimate with so much of their assassination tools, and they regroup. and play this one nice and slowly. Aladoric, one of the MVPs of the fight, because he just tanks up all the damage so well without dying. Kind of thought Chippies had gone onto the wrong members here, but another clutch stun coming out of Shock. 2-member stun. And this was going to be a Baron if Chaz did not have some sneaky ninja-like skills, Pyra, in being able to go back over that wall and pick up 2 kills.
Did I not say he was a pretty good ninja?
He's a crap ninja, but that looked ninja-esque.
Well, when I get you to admit that, I'm happy. Oh, there's the pushback. Pap Rise not perturbed.
Flash down Burrow.
And there it goes. Guts looking for it. They just do not stop at all. Swathe turns out the lights, but it looks like it's going to be lights out for the Rek'Sai. Guts is taken out to start this fight. And Avant, what the hell? That was a 1-2 punch if I've ever seen one. And Avant just keep on going. Realm Warp going to be denied here. And that's going to be Baron for sure. Chaz still trying to make something of it, but Swathe lives.
Yeah, it certainly does, and that time it will be Baron. Chaz goes for the outplay one more time, but cannot make it land, and this is just the 1-3-1 comp trying to teamfight against a Jarvan, a Nocturne, a Galio, a Jinx. There's just so much going right for Avant Gaming this time. They will get the Baron, and this game should now be a fairly simple closeout.
Well, I think this game's been anything but fairly simple, but this is about as on expectations as you can get.
Well,
Swathe will just come back in.
I had a feeling, right, that this game was going to get fairly chaotic, even when it was at 7 kills. Now we're at 22 minutes. It's at 22 kills. And I think fairly chaotic is the way that I would describe it. When both teams buy into this team fight heavy style, it just becomes a little bit of a fiesta. And you can see flashes over those flame choppers. They do get the root, but they don't account for the Zhonya's. So much damage going across. Doesn't get his ultimate off in this fight once again. And then the big wombo combo there. Just taking care of business as the Avant Gaming lineup. Chaz tries to put on the fancy footwork here. Goes back to the shadow. Flashes forward. Looks for the E. Oh, a little bit short.
I think even if he'd have gotten that, though, like he was still going down, and even without the smite, they were going to be able to secure it with the ace.
We saw like the time before that they weren't able to get Baron with it. Maybe that kill once again delays the Baron pickup. Because it was Chippies that went down. You can see one more
There's
time.
Paranoia. And the Rocket comes in. Every single time, the Rocket just kind of waves it goodbye because Gunkrab's just trying to get that one. Pap Rise is taken out by Chippies. And Legacy getting a little caught out, getting a little sloppy. But as you said, this is a big lead here for Avant. They should be able to close this out.
Yeah, and the problem is they've finally gone into kind of a split pushing setup with the Rise in the side lane. But that's not where you want to be against a Baroned up lineup because they just push quicker than you. This is going to be definitely base broken, you would think, with the Jinx. Double Zeal item already.
Yeah. Not only that, I mean, Shock has been quietly amassing some kills and assists as well. He hasn't died this game. And you pointed out that Zhonya's is coming pretty clutch for him on 2 items. He's really dishing a lot of single target burst.
Yeah, it certainly is. And this might be base broken in 2 spots because you see the Zed only has just recalled. So they're going to put as much damage into it as possible. I think if there's a time for Legacy to fight, it is right now.
They're going to have to, but they were denied on the Scat of the Week from the Syndra. So covering the escape tracks there, the Baroned up minions, the traps and everything. They will deny on the Legacy side a second inhibitor take, but they do lose one in the mid lane.
Yeah, and that's just so much gold going over to the Avant Gaming lineup. They're now 6,000 gold ahead. And this is starting to look a little bit more routine for them. In saying that, I think that Legacy have at least one big team fight left, and they've got 2 items on Vayne, 2 items on Ryze. So this is kind of the time for their comp to shine. You would wish it isn't against the 3 items on the other team, but, you know, you'll take it.
They've got a chance. It's always possible.
Always a fool's hope.
Ooh. Death Brush here. Oh, they're bringing everybody. Now, who's going to check it? That's the question.
They don't even have to.
Oh,
There we go.
Yeah, they bring the Death Brush to Swathe. He's instantly going to flash away. That's the most dangerous wolf camp he's ever done.
Certainly is. Chippies now.
Yeah, locked up by the Pap Rise. And they're getting sandwiched again. Shock getting jumped on, but it's Praedyth who actually falls prey first. Swathe takes him out of the fight.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't. Shock doesn't even go down. Guts has to flash? No, that wasn't a flash. That was
Crazy that flashed away, and there's the Realm Warp. So, unfortunately, they got to get back to defend the base because Super Minions are marching in.
Look at bottom lane. I didn't realize that Tier 1 bottom lane turret was still up and available.
It's been that way for a while.
Yeah,
I think Gunkrab's about to correct that oversight.
They've got some work to do down there, though, Pyra. Good to see that stopwatches are plenty picked up for the Avant Gaming lineup against Zed, one of the best items you can buy. 600 gold to shut down an entire kit seems kind of worthwhile in my mind.
Yeah. This is that point of the game where as a Jinx you feel really good because you're not only winning, but you basically just get to take everything. You're just like a full-on glutton. You're like, that's mine, I'll take that Krug camp too.
Absolutely, and Jinx is one of those champions that she snowballs out of control really quickly. 1 kill gives her so much into the kit. They're fighting.
And they're going to get even more off the back of it right now. It's Gunkrab with the dominating kill. He turns his attention off to Paprise as the solo outplay attempts to come through, but he heals it up, forcing the flash away. And Gunkrab, he's feeling himself right now, tagging his way in, and it's Shock that cleans him up. Chaz on the wrong side of the fight, and this is looking all over.
Yeah, and I think that'll do it, Pyro. They're onto the Nexus turrets. Only Vayne and Zed available there against 5 members.
Just to try and disrupt the hopes, but there's plenty of minions to make this one happen. Avant Gaming will take out the last of the resistance here as Swaith turns out the lights one more time. Going golden is Gunkrab, and he certainly has been the golden boy here today for Avant Gaming, but they have fired on all cylinders, and with the Nexus in their sights, Praedyth trying to make it happen. He's got 2. Can he get even more? Can they actually deny this? The triple kill for the Vayne, and he's on to Aladora going for the Quadra. I don't believe it. They've stayed alive.
Certainly have, and Guts went for the execute there as well. Praedyth not chasing in, but they are still in this game. 4 kills over to the Vayne. I have to say, a little bit disrespectful from the Avant Gaming lineup. They could have ended the game there if they just hit the damn Nexus.
Oh boy, now Chippy's is going to get jumped on by Guts. He pops his stopwatch. Not going to last for very long, though. Flag and Drag out, he actually does make his great escape, but what the hell? A crazy hold by Legacy.
Certainly was, but the base is broken. No Nexus turrets up and available, so, you know, mission accomplished in some ways for the Avant Gaming lineup.
Legacy are on life support right now, but they're still in it.
Yeah, absolutely. There is a ward in the bottom side. So when Chippy's teleport is up and available, you have to be careful. But let's take another look at this. They fly in onto the Vayne, kind of 1v1 between Swaith and Praedyth right now. The Fear nearly registered. And you can see that they turn around and start hitting him. I think if they just had to hit the Nexus there, that would have probably done it.
Oh man, someone's going to have to montage this and put the Guile theme up, because Praedyth is just absolutely styling and getting himself 1v1 after 1v1.
Certainly is. That was like kind of when you just have a handshake agreement that you're going to fight people one at a time. And, you know, the next challenger kind of walks into the ring afterwards, and Praedyth kind of beat them all there.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. You get a nice Vayne and 4 kills back up, and all of a sudden he's 5-5-5. QSS, little defensive tool, but he's a 3-item Vayne, still working towards even more. Big gold infusion. And that does give him a chance, a bit of an X factor.
And this is what I mean. Praedyth has an ego. He doesn't like to be beaten in that way. So he would have been a little bit, you know, pissed off that they weren't respecting the fact that he was still alive and they weren't hitting the Nexus. So the fact that he got to turn around and put on the dancing shoe style a little bit, he would be very happy with. But still very firmly Avant Gaming's game. As I said, you know, they've got no Nexus turrets. All Jarvan has to do right now is walk into the base and they can win this game.
Oh, yeah. Now, I do like it when an AD carry player, even if he's been role swapped, really does have that level of confidence. It really does mean that you can step up in the clutch. You can make some of those big plays. Praedyth has definitely shown he's been able to do that time and time again. I actually caught him in the hallway. We were talking about that last interview I had where he's like, yeah, no, I'm #1, I'm top tier and all that stuff. And it's okay, man. I come from NA. There's a player there called Doublelift. He plays a mean Vayne as well. You remind me of him just a bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. I think Doublelift certainly has the accolades to go with a lot of his confidence. Don't know if Praedyth has that just yet. But
No, but he's got time.
yeah, certainly does.
29 minutes, speaking of time, on the clock. Baron's back up and available. This next fight will very likely decide it all. Avant still with a hefty advantage. But we have seen Legacy be able to win fights in the clutch, and here's the start. It's going to be Chippy's looking to go in. The Paranoia popped by Swaith, the Braum knock up. Nobody's picked the target they want. However, Chippy's are going to turn in. There's the rocket and the wombo of the combo onto Aladoric. It's Swaith onto Crazy. They clean house, and Paprise, he's only going to live for a few seconds, and that's lights out for Legacy.
It certainly is, and this time they make sure they kill the Vayne. They roll over the top of them. All 5 members still up and available. Clean ace. Avant Gaming will take the game.
They'll be able to march this one all the way to the end. There is no resistance available as everybody's still waiting to respawn. Just shy of the 30-minute mark. And you know, Legacy, they certainly played it well over the back half of that split. But Avant right now, they're sending it off in style. Not with a whimper, but a big old bang.
And showing some of that swagger, Pyro. That's a team that is very confident. They play the game their way. Big team fight comp picked up. A little bit of lane kingdom still shown. I really like their map movement this game. The flip into the top lane, to take the Rift Herald, to take the top lane turret. One fumble, I think, at the bottom lane play. You know, they didn't necessarily have to go to that. Their strongest member was the Jinx, wasn't going to be able to make it to that play at all. So I think that there are areas still for the coaching staff to say, hey guys, we can play this a little bit slower, a little bit more refined, but I think their heart is always in the right place. You know, if we're the people making the plays, we're aggressive, we're playing it on their side of the map, the punishes are so much smaller. And I think that Avant Gaming certainly are showing that they are happy to play that kind of slapdash, quick League of Legends. And makes them a very exciting team to watch.
Oh, absolutely. And I think if you're Avant, you much rather make those mistakes right now because they're fresh in your mind going into next week. You're going to be in the gauntlet regardless. They locked themselves previously into the 3rd place position. So, now you know exactly what you want to work on going into it.
Yeah, absolutely. They're booked in for Friday right now. They know that they get to watch a full best of 5 against a team that is about to play them. They know that they have an extra day of scrims if they want to utilize that as well. So many things going in the Avant Gaming lineup right now that they would be very happy to be able to take into that gauntlet. So very positive signs.
All right. Wow, we're almost done with Super Week. One more game left to go. Before we do that, let's send it back to the couch to break it down.
All right, as the guys there at the desk touched on, AV locked in for Gauntlet. They're preparing. Hopefully, they're just getting the messy play out of their systems now before next week.
I hope so as well, Nick. I do think that, overall that game wasn't the cleanest of games. You could go down the scoreboard pretty easily and say that it looks clean. There was a bunch of 6-1s. Chippies was big on the top job, and Jinx was a big pick as well into the vein. And none of this was legitimately showing or revealing anything crazy. I think that AV just tried to play good League of Legends and have proven to themselves again that they've got a little bit of a ways to go if they want to be able to take the top dogs down. But that's what this week of prep is for in the gauntlet.
Yeah. Were you surprised at all with any of their picks or anything today?
With AV's picks?
Yeah, AV's picks. Were they pretty standard for you?
Yeah, those picks aren't necessarily, I would say, known as standard to the rest of the world. But
Sorry, in terms of the crazy stuff you're already trying. I know beforehand we were saying, is the crazy stuff going to be tried in this? Because third has already been locked
right,
in.
No. Yeah, so that was all pretty standard by AV standards.
Okay.
What I mean, and for your sake as well, is we're pretty crazy by default. So those were just some counter picks that only we really do, right? But yeah, that wasn't, you haven't seen crazy yet.
Sure. Oh, back pocket for the gauntlet.
Oh, it's a big pocket.
We have seen Crazy, though. He was just in the studio
Yeah.
earlier. But now, this will be the last time that we really talk about Legacy as well. And, over the last couple of weeks, we've been very positive on Legacy's development. I was thinking, if the split had started a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and Legacy were on this kind of trend, where would they be sitting?
I think it's a really cool hypothetical to think about. The current week of Legacy's performance, they challenged AV, they challenged Mammoth. You think back to their last weeks, they were getting wins. I would, because you have to put them somewhere. I feel like they'd be 4th place, maybe 4th or 5th, challenging Mammoth right now. With how they've been playing at the moment. I think that they could be challenging us just as much, of course, but they have improved so rapidly in the last couple of weeks, and I feel like it was the moment that they were told they can't make it.
Well,
I think they suddenly just became the best team ever.
Yeah.
So, but what is that down to? Is it their mechanics has been better? Is their team synergy?
I think it's definitely a part of team synergy, right? Every team needs to spend some time playing together to really refine their skills and understand each other, I think is the biggest thing. But for me, it is actually that moment where someone said, Legacy, you can't mathematically make it anymore. And then they all looked at each other and they said, well, time to just shit on everyone.
Yeah.
Because what else can we do? And they just played their best League of Legends for them and worried less about their opponents. And you can see how that affects them.
Well, so that's just maybe it's a mental thing, right? When the pressure's not on you anymore in order to perform, maybe that's unleashing something.
It's like how you right now are the best you've ever been on the OPL. Because
there's no stakes.
Pressure. Yeah.
You can't fire me. I don't work here.
Exactly. And there's no way you can get fired for talking about tossing a baby into a hive of bees and wasps combined.
Hypothetical.
All right.
I wouldn't do it.
It's true. We'll see what Chippies has to say about bee babies because he's at the desk right now with Pyro.
Bee babies. What a great topic. How about we talk about the game instead, actually?
All right.
Because that was a good win for you guys. It was still a little bit messy there. Did you feel like you came in, expecting to play a loose and fast game, or was it really just meant to try and shore up some of the things you guys have been working on?
We come into every game with a plan throughout the week, so we don't try hard against Bombers in Legacy, just equal. So I think we did the plan that's best against Legacy.
Fair enough. And, I think after the previous couple of games, it may have been feeling a little bit rough for you guys, but you were locked in all the same. Was the pressure maybe a little bit off because you had already secured that spot?
Yeah, there was some talk of, we're going to do some troll picks or, sub Shonen. But
Oh!
but, no, everyone cares about winning.
Timeline.
Everyone cares about winning way more than, having fun, so.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Now, I got a bit of a personal question because Gunkrab was doing another pop-off game on the Jinx. We've seen him on the Tristana a lot. And, when you get one of those AD carries, I always kind of wonder, is he a bit of a wild man in comms? Is he yelling go, 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 go all the time? Or, what is it like?
Depends on the game, mate. If you put him on, Ash, Varus, Israel, he's just a silent boy. But as soon as he gets champs he likes, he's, screaming the comms down. So.
Oh, okay, so just unlocks him.
Yeah, unleashed, man.
Oh, man, I love it. Okay, hopefully get to see a lot more of that going into the gauntlet. But last question for you here. You got the luxury of seeing who you will face off against play in that first best of series. Who would you personally rather face, Order or Mammoth?
I think I'd rather this Mammoth because I want to be Richard Sue, man. My good buddy. Gotta
All
take him out.
right. Good reason as well. I like it. Okay, well, it may be really frosty in here, but I can still go for McFlurry, so let's go on a quick break.
We don't believe in labels at Macca's, like dinner or breakfast.